Now, Julius.
Before we begin properly, go ahead.
Actually,
I'm gonna ask my question later.
as I was gonna ask you something.
Go ahead.
I have +1 armor, Matt.
Yeah.
That isn't metal. Can I trade it in for +1 armor that is metal? Like, just it costs exactly the same. Just be like, here, I'll give you this, and I'll take this, and then pay the price difference to make it mithril.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I mean, Ulfgar does a lot of fiddly stuff with crafting, and he is the crafter of this expedition, so something like that should be.
Like
he should be able
I'm
to
just
do that.
Laminar steel, but mithril because metal. But it's basically he might have one lying around and be like, here, I'll give you this for this, and it's almost basically the same stats. Actually, is the same stats with mithril.
Yeah, and that increased movement speed, I suppose.
That and the armor now counts as light, so I can add brawling to it.
Ah.
That gets the stat.
I'm fine as long as the proper cost is being paid. Then that's no skin off my back.
The proper cost is being paid.
Then I'm fine. I mean, I can imagine that Ulfgar having all of these crafting feats, skill checks out of his ass in his backstory, being apprentice and training at the Titan's Forge, if you recall the location.
Oh yeah, that's where I got the potion that helped me against the final boss, or the boss of the Phantom Troop.
I mean, technically speaking, Phantom Troop was kinda like a quasi-final boss, I guess. Anyways, yeah, I mean, changing material, changing elements, and basically doing some almost quasi-alchemy stuff, yeah, that's doable by him. And I also imagine that over this couple of weeks that you were gone, they managed to scavenge more supplies, including crates of different types of metal. Anyways, my question was going to be, and just out of curiosity, because if you don't remember, that's fine, but I was mentioning on one of the other sessions about win-lose conditions for the campaign regarding like the story, and I do recall that you have found out that technically speaking, those summoned creatures that you have seen, they are being technically bound to someone as to a summoner, but killing those summoners because of this place will not solve the issue, so you know that killing the summoners is like a fake victory condition, and I fucking, for the love of God, I cannot remember if I have given you any other like concrete information.
I don't think so. All we got was some middle goal, like heading up to Point Beliator in the northwest. But I don't think we gotten any other win conditions.
Julius.
Mm.
That's not ridiculous, is it?
Hey, nice.
Holy crap.
Looks like we got an iron grip on the situation.
With plus 20. Funny thing is, with plus 20, I think you still need... And mind you, that's because, well, we are level 6 and these creatures are like higher CR. But I think the Wild Fae, the Wild Hunt Fae, the archers, they have like CMD of 41? Or
yeah.
42 or something, so... But it's, I mean, plus 20 on level 6, that's... Nice.
Alright, let's see here.
Yay, bonuses.
I'm kind of curious now. I wonder if that actually beats me.
You get a lot of size bonuses for growing big, and growing big
You
hurts your
you
dex.
beat me by 1.
Nice.
My highest I can get up to is 19.
Then once you're grappled, that's when the fun stuff starts. Oh wait, you mean your bonus?
Yeah. Yeah, you got me beat by 1 to the bonus.
With all your strength and size bonuses, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You should really chuck a potion of enlarged person, Zach.
I know it'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't have a strength belt.
Okay then. Mm.
So yeah, I don't have any enhancement bonuses because I don't have any belts or headbands. Yeah, brawling because gauntlets are fun and also count as unarmed strikes because they're stupid that way. Brawling gives +2 to unarmed attack and damage, and including combat maneuver checks to grapple.
Like they were made for you.
Exactly. It's just, a +3 armor bonus now. It used to be +1. But I kind of agree that it's kind of silly for a +1 bonus. It's almost as if it was made for brawlers, since it says it can only be applied to light armor. Which technically I think means that it can't be applied to braces of armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's your strength when I beat you by 1?
Give me a second. I gotta put all the buffs back on. I turn it off for a
That's fair.
second.
Well, what's
Oh,
your
I
max
didn't,
strength? Do you remember that? Isn't it like 30 something?
Give me 1 second. Da, 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 da. Come on. I was waiting for the sheet to recalculate.
Uh-huh. Let's put it this way, I have 16 strength.
27.
Okay. So, you have almost double my strength,
Hmm.
and I beat you by 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. 36. Eventually, completely
you have
updated.
more than double my strength.
Yeah, I have a modifier of 13 for strength.
Yeah, I was
have
like,
a modifier of 3.
yeah, I vaguely recall that Zil has more, especially if he like activates all of his stuff, because yeah, he can like basically be stronger than frost giants.
And the gauntlets of skilled maneuver is just a +2 to a combat maneuver, so I obviously chose grapple.
And if I decide to go a certain route, I can make this even more insane. I mean, I definitely consider the one option you told me about, Lina.
Oh. I mean, it's at the point where I could just grapple and pin you until you stopped.
Stop resisting.
Well, what's your CMD?
My CND is 28.
Yeah.
You'd have plus.
Actually, no, it would be a challenge because you'd be going against my CMD. My CMD is not going to be. It's 24, so that would be 34 for grappling. So you'd have to roll a. I think what's your. I could just get the +4 for maintain. So you'd have to get a 14 to break the pin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to get an 8 to maintain.
So let's see. If you roll that, then
I mean, would
see
be
what I do.
interesting. I have a hearing that discussion. I'm having flashbacks to that fight with the Ooze. That Ooze and Axrak were constantly like
pinning and unpinning.
Not pinning, just like taking control of the grapple.
Re-grappling.
Yeah, regrappling.
Yeah.
So wait, if I understand right, or maybe I'm misunderstanding, Zach, you have something that allows you to like do grapple and pin in a single turn?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was getting confused.
I need to get greater grapple for that.
I still enjoy the idea of playing a kineticist with a greater trip and infusion that lets you trip. Walk up to someone and hit them with a kinetic sword, provoking an attack of opportunity, hitting them, getting another attack opportunity because you tripped them again.
I mean, you can only trip people once, because then they're on the ground.
That's the amusing question. Does it actually change? Since I'm
Like-
pretty rules as written, I'm pretty sure there's nothing that stops you from tripping them. Nothing just happens. Of course, that would if you walked up with a straight face to a GM like that, you'd get your ass kicked. But
Yes, you
Rules are-
would. Yes, you would.
rules as written, there's nothing to stop you.
But yeah, there's a reason why we have rules as written and rules as intended.
It's one of those dumb things that works in Pathfinder Kingmaker because there is no GM to stop you. So in it, you can walk up, hit them once, and then walk to the next enemy and hit them once.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can I combine the scales from the White Dragon and the scales from the Pyrohydra to create a scale armor that is both resistant to cold and heat?
I mean, without looking deeply into the rules, my first instinct is to say no. Mostly because I cannot think of anything that can give you resistance to like elemental damage.
Just a question. Since we're doing Pathfinder resistance, like, would it be resistance 5, resistance 10, or how would you have it?
I would say since the Pyrohydra and the dragon scales would be a bit lose some of their
Yeah, but sorry, let me rephrase that. If you were to just use one of them, what resistance would you have?
I'm guessing the either the same as the dragon or Pyrohydra or half that.
So that would be?
Hold on. Pyrohydra. And I believe that was 5-headed Pyrohydra. Amusingly enough, according to the character sheet for 5-headed Pyrohydra, it does not have resistance to fire damage.
Really?
That would be up to you, DM, if it even makes sense.
Yeah.
And the White Young Dragon. Yeah, that's kinda amusing, but yeah. It does not have resistance to fire damage, so that portion is out of the way.
Alright, never mind then.
Young White Dragon. Well, it's immune to cold.
That would probably make it like resistance 20 or resistance 10. If you made those rules.
Depending on how good your crafting roll is.
Yeah, heat no, cold. If you want to go for it, make me a. But wait, actually we did say, but you can harvest parts, but
yeah, only
you don't have dragon crafting.
Yeah, only our resident craft can do that.
Not gonna apply his modifier, just out of curiosity, gonna see. Yeah, I'll think about that. We'll get to that point because you are returning to the base either way. Any other technical questions you need to ask me before we properly begin?
Can I use any? Well, probably going to sell some of the dragon parts as alchemical ingredients. Can I make a diplomacy check to see if I can get a good price on said dragon parts?
Just sell them for
No,
cost price.
because remember that you don't really have functioning economy, and we are doing the
Alright.
money thing as abstract, because
Alright.
it's just like you have this is worth that much abstract, and then you know how much you can get out of this as Ulfgar and Smithies transmute all of that stuff from one thing to another. But yeah, if you are harvesting parts, you can make a check for that. It's either craft, but it doesn't specify which, or heal check.
Let's see.
And I'm trying to
You have
look.
I do have a craft armor and heal. So I'm gonna try heal first.
Essentially, that's the description I have for this. So CR squared, so that's 6. Okay, so if you pass it,
I rolled a 3, so 12. Jesus.
okay,
The return of the shitty rolls.
okay, for fuck's sake, why the item creation feed does not say what's the DC? Hold on.
What are we making?
I'm just
okay.
harvesting some of the dragon parts.
Well, the DC of crafting magic items is 5 plus the caster level, plus
That's
5 any missing requirement.
Basically, that's not for crafting, but that's for harvesting parts. That's the item creation feed.
I mean, there just says
Um,
DC 15 plus CR, right?
Yeah, I was like, I found it now, so with 21, that heal check would not be enough.
Yeah, I figured. I'm cursed with the shitty dice luck.
Mind you, I'm feeling somewhat generous, and I believe you got someone to basically do the gentle repose. So essentially, that the body is not decaying. I very recall you did that stuff. So
Yes.
as an exception, this one time I'll allow you to like retry, and it's up to you if you want to make heal check again or use a crafting skill.
This time I'm gonna try crafting. Please roll above a 5. No! You- Why? Gygax, why?
Sadly, the dice have spoken. And you almost feel that the dragon is... however dragons can laugh, it's like laughing at you from beyond the grave. Oh well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm shitty dice luck.
I mean, look, get to the point when you will have like the series when Zilul missed like several attacks against those elementals, then we're gonna talk about shitty luck.
Yeah.
Although, okay, to be fair, there are like different aspects of shitty luck. As when I critted you during the ghost fight, when I critted Koron and killed him with that crit.
Or that time where I kept the grilling donut with the goblins.
I mean, that was just comedy. It's donut, you know.
I mean, I take it he's not only getting crit fished on my campaign.
It's donut, of course not.
No, the donut getting crit is normal.
Yes.
Honestly, I think it's selection bias because he always plays characters that charge in front.
Mm-hmm. There are some shit like when we fight playing Baldur's Gate 3 and he fought like 5 spiders who hit him on a 20. He like was okay, I'm gonna run away, provoke attack of opportunity and got hit 5 times. Well, it wasn't 5, it was 4, but still.
Oof.
At that point, we were really looking at the die.
I mean, then there's me and Julius playing Baldur's Gate 3 when we're playing as dwarf wizards in medium armor, and we get nat 20'd by a skeleton archer, and
Damn.
the arrow misses us because our model is bigger than our hit die, or than our hitbox.
The hitbox is, yeah, so the armor is not accounted for, so it hit the armor and was ignored because it hit the armor, not our character model.
Yes.
which was fucking amusing.
I don't know if they've probably fixed that by now.
We should go and check it out.
Yeah, but basically, they hadn't. They programmed the model for. I don't know if it was just dwarf wizards or just shield dwarves in general, but basically, the model of them wearing medium armor was bigger than the hitbox for them.
Yes.
And so it hit the model and stop, but it hadn't hit the hitbox, so just count as if it had hit like a piece of terrain or something.
It was actually so funny because I was so confused. I tested it out with like Dwarf Fighter, works just perfectly fine. Dwarf Ranger, fine. And I was like, oh, it's for some reason if you don't have like medium armor proficiency, which Shield Dwarves gives, it just works. It was such a silly glitch too. But yes, it made us immortal dwarves running around kicking in shins and beating up people.
I wonder if they also fixed the wizards can learn any spell
That
from a
they
scroll.
fixed. I'm very sad about that one.
Running around with Guiding Bolt and Eldritch Blast as a wizard.
Yes, the classic.
It's like, yes, I'm a wizard, casts Bless.
Alright. So, to properly begin, as a reminder, last time we left our heroes, you have did a small detour through the mountains at the surrounding area near monastery, finding a fucking huge egg, which to the best of your knowledge and instinct might have a slumbering or hibernating god spawn creature. Something that will be extremely hard to kill, or to the most known common knowledge, there is no known way of killing that thing. You also had like a small encounter with two frost giants with a young white dragon that apparently were trying to track something, which turned out to be you, but because you had good survival checks, they lost your track and were basically hit dead end. Yeah, you have returned to the monastery, and after some talking, essentially you managed to get it so they will set up a teleportation circle. And I'm gonna say, even though if it didn't even happen, I'm gonna do a small retcon that you did ask when Ulfgar messaged you, one of you guys, probably Cheruk, that through exchanging information you also told him so they can also set up teleportation circles so that you can basically quicken the transportation rate at the very least between those 2 points. That might also become relevant in case the monastery will be attacked. As a side note, several inhabitants of the monastery, not monks, but those that were taking refuge in that place, will voice their not willingness, but desire to go with you to the base, so they can set up, take refuge there, not in the monastery. Wild Fey Hunters or the Archers are not one of those, and without a roll I can give you that because they were granted hospitality by the Elder Law, they feel indebted to the Elder and the monks there, so they will continue to protect the monastery as long as this crisis persists to pay off the debt. Because wild Fae or not, they are still Fae, and debts are quite a big thing for them.
Yep.
Uh, but
I heard that a Fae would literally break himself apart instead of breaking his vows.
yeah,
Were you saying that too? Mm.
Kind of whispers that to Sixus.
Uh, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Where did you hear that from? Did you?
From what was the Jackie Black looking character again?
oh fuck, I forgot.
Eddie Riggs.
Ah, you mean from Brutal Legend?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
No, we have Let Me Kill Meister and Eddie Riggs as bard characters.
Yeah, and Ozzy Osbourne XP. Too.
And us.
Well, yeah. Well, my honor is my all. I'm certainly sure the same thing would happen if I were to break one of my vows.
You break yourself apart.
Well, that's what you said. That's what you said would happen to them. Clearly, it's just the strength of the word.
You're tearing me apart, Sixus.
Mm-hmm.
I've had enough of this world.
Well, well, we've said we're gonna explore this place. Let's be off. Where would we going again?
The plan was that you return to Point Aquila for a proper debriefing and exchanging information, because now it's more than 30 days have passed since you have first landed on this place, and I think definitely like at the very least 2 weeks have passed since you left Point Aquila, so your base of operations. So perhaps some stuff has happened, and then your idea was to teleport back to Monastery and then walk from Monastery towards Rotten Claw Tribe.
I say we hit up whatever the hell this is on the way.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be my question further down the line, if you are going to check out this thing. Because
Most likely, yeah.
yeah, you found out about this thing after you have dealt with the Golden Salamander tribe. They had something mentioned about this place, but only like a void and no other details about that.
Sounds like an invitation to us.
Looking at the map, it seems like heading down towards it, then to the tribe would be faster anyways. Because otherwise we'd be walking over a mountain or two. Or 7.
Either way, we're heading there.
Yeah, I did some math, and with that fucking banner of swiftness, your movement rates are pretty silly. I think, yeah, if you are forced marching and you can do that entire day with the banner, that means, are all of you guys can go 30 feet or can you go 40?
30.
I can go 40.
30.
I think I am at 30 now, yes. Because
Okay,
I have
so-
technically light armor.
Nice.
Okay, so going with 30, you can go 72 miles per day. Assuming you are like doing 24 hours of like, you know, marching.
So 270, so about 4 days.
Yeah. So after gathering your things, you teleport to Point Aquila to exchange information. Because when you do show up, you will notice, among other things, several new faces. Or, well, new old faces. For one, well, the other party you have met at the start, the New Bloods, Goldbane and his crew,
Yeah.
they seem to be present. Slightly irked, they look like they came fresh off the Lazarus chamber, getting resurrected after meeting an not fun demise. Additionally, Malgarius, the Hollow Guardian, the animated suit of armor, seems to also be present, but he's not alone. He seems to be discussing something with a shaman-looking female and a shaman-like oriental-looking female, I should specify, and a monk that seems to have like a wears blindfold above his head. So that's one, and that's two. And regarding the old new faces among the crowd, because there seems to be like at the very least another group of survivors seems to have like found their way here. So we have like definitely around 100 people in this place here. You do notice Captain Gunag. If you recall, that was the ship captain that you were on.
Oh
whose
shit,
ship
he's
you were
alive. Gunnar, you son of a bitch.
Cheryuk, and your friends. I didn't catch you leaving the base. Seems like you were gone for quite some time. It's good to see you once more.
Good to see you survived as well. Do we see Coron anywhere?
Yeah, for the purposes of like, yeah, he can be like arriving around the same time.
Yes. Comedy. He's finally made it. Hello, teleports in here.
Hello. Why didn't you he just ask Coron? Why didn't you just teleport?
I suppose we see a flicker of irritation across his face.
So, kind of ask Captain Gunnar, so what happened? Last time we saw you, you were heading the ship off towards the island.
I was. Woke up on a beach. Who knows where? Definitely not where you guys were, I suppose. Traveled for a while. I'm pretty sure I didn't drown, but that's because I might not be the proper member of the guild, but I served long enough to be granted the gift, same as you. I did stumble upon other survivors that, even though they do not bear the gift, they were hardy and determined folk. I even managed to bring a group of about 20 of them back here. We did... Sorry. We did manage to find one of the fallen skyships. Cannot be sure if it belonged to Sky Captain Mina, but she nor anyone else were present. The place was devoid of any survivors. Well, we did have some unpleasant encounters with very hostile inhabitants.
Did you see any marks on them? It kind of describes the same mark that they've found during their travels.
Oh, yes. We didn't check all of them. Sometimes we just didn't have time, as we were had to conduct a tactical retreat. But yes, I do recall the symbol that you are describing, and now that you mention it, I heard similar thing from, and then he points towards Goldbane and his crew. I'm no expert in magic and, well, all that cloak and dagger bullshit. But even my orcish sailory brain can see that there is something, pardon the pun, fishy going on here. And it's very fucking rotten.
Jarek suddenly has a craving for fish.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they don't exactly feel hunger as any mortals do, it would be nice to have a dinner sometime. But yeah, well, it is glad to see that you made it out in one piece. But so, if you'll excuse me, we'll report to Head Ranger Bomir and see what else we can find. We're about to head out soon enough to investigate a possible hostile tribe further down the island.
No rest for the wicked. Understood. Good hunting. Good hunting, wanderers. And then he gonna...
Shuffle off.
Yep. Every day I'm shuffling.
Yeah, Crab walks away.
So I'm gonna let somebody else have the spotlight for the moment.
Essentially, when Bachmir, fucking hell, I'm forgetting the names of my own NPCs. Bachmir sees you, because he's thankfully also present. Oh, good. You're here. Ulfgar was mentioning you're gonna visit soon enough. Goldbane! Get your crew over here! We need to have like a quick discussion and exchange information and figure out who tackles which problem. At the very least, ensure that all of us are operating on the same level of knowledge. So, my question to you, my players, is: do you essentially give like a very, not brief, but like a recap, rundown of your activities, or is there something specific that you are keeping out of your journeys? Is there something that you wish to keep secret, or at the very least don't mention during this meetup?
Don't think we have any secrets that we're particularly keen on keeping.
I don't. Well, I, for one, do not think that we need to mention how Jurek kind of was charmed by a harpy.
I mean, I thought that was the main point, like talking about how you walked over the side of a wall.
I mean, I imagine we probably want to talk too much about our deaths.
Yeah,
It's just kind of expected at this point.
It's more like we fought this thing, it was dangerous. And we fought this thing, it was very dangerous. We fought this thing, and nobody got their heads cut off, trust me. And then...
Hey, I'm kind of imagining Sixus doing some interpretive gestures
Of
to
course.
kind of add to the drama of the fights.
And we fought this like super corrupted katana wielding monster, swinging his blade left and right, and I defeated him.
But yeah, I think the most important things we should mention is 1D symbol. 2, the God Spawn egg. 3, the Frost Giant Jarl, and whatever meeting they had with the person which I wasn't present to.
Yeah, 2 humanoid figures that gave like a strong fiend slash intelligent undead vibes. Like think like a maybe not Lich, but like a Sukubai or something. But yeah, I get the gist of what you're saying. The Bachmir and at this point is essentially like almost like a war council. So most of the essential personnel and people on the command squad that are present in the base and the other Eternals are present. Goldbane and Malgarius, with no small irritation, they do mention that apart from, well, mostly patrolling the surrounding areas, like within 50-mile radius, they did check out the thing to the east. And essentially for you guys, it's just like a brief information that it's like a sort of like a undead infested swamp slash barrows, essentially a place where unhallowed ground, strong necromantic energies. And they do mention that everything was going well, but then suddenly a freaking overpowered monster appeared out of nowhere and just slain them all without giving them too much chance to fight back. And from
Well, what did it
Did
look
you
like?
identify what kind of monster it was?
yeah, and from the description, out of curiosity, I'm just gonna. From the description, it's very easy for you to identify, confirm that this is indeed the same huge fucking undead dragon that you have seen during your mountain travels.
Alright, we should probably mention the undead dragon as well.
Mhm.
So,
So they are definitely gonna be making another run at it to basically purge that area and essentially supporting the Ghostbusters crew on that. Other short information that the crossing seems to be well, it is like as the name implies, a crossing between the lands, a natural pathway towards deeper south. But it seems to be fortified, actually. Man-made forts that seem to be occupied by cultists of some sort.
cultists of the zombie dragon.
They cannot confirm for sure, actually. Give me a moment. They wouldn't specify that it's for zombie dragon, but the place definitely gives like a strong cult vibes. Close sacrifices.
And what vibes?
Cult, like a
Okay.
cultist
Yeah.
vibes. And actually, as they are talking about that, they do point towards a preserved body of a orc sorcerer, as you are informed, and another human, but also looking like a mage type. Yeah, this is generally this type of folks, and yeah, they point that they also have the symbol.
Sorker.
I am not a native speaker, okay?
No, you didn't say anything wrong. I'm just memeing about it being orc sork. You know?
Ah, okay. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
no.
Understood.
Mhm.
So yeah, essentially Crossing is fortified and occupied by a cultist fort. Anything other important? Well, they did investigate and check out the place that we have found closer towards the start of the campaign. The fuck, what was it? The underwater temple with the summoning circle.
Yes.
Yeah, so they have investigated that, and also generally speaking, over the last 2 to 3 weeks, the mages, not many of them, but still they were able to conduct various like spells, research, and whatnot. uh, Generally speaking, because well, we are not magically inclined party, apart from having skills in arcane, but having skills in arcane is not the same as being a mage. Your characters get run down on information that translate into your knowledge for players. That another one of the potential victory conditions is that whatever ritual is happening, because probably I should have started from that to the best of their knowledge of the Eternal Wanderers Guild and those that have conducted various research, the guild, the expedition here, stumbled upon ritual of some kind that is currently underway. That the storm surrounding the entire place, the wall that prevents any communication with the outside world and escape, seems to be a part of it. And whatever madness, whatever reason that the natives are so bloodthirstily hostile, seems to be connected to it. And various minds, as they think about it, the conclusion that they come that one of the loose conditions, like that things will go badly, is that if all of that started happening when you have arrived, then obviously the presence of not the guild itself, but the immortals that are part of it, the Eternals, people like you and your companions, those who bear the gift, if your presence was expected, anticipated, and planned for, then it bears to not bears to know. It's most likely that you as immortals, you that you can die over and over again, you can be the best kind of fuel for this ritual.
Wait, so our deaths fuel this ritual?
You do recall every time you have perished, and other NPCs, other Eternal Wanderer members will mention the same thing, that when you die, you do fail. I didn't mention it all every time you have died, but I didn't mention it closer towards the start, that when you have died, even if temporarily, you did feel like something tried to pull your soul out of you. And even though you were whole, there was this also feeling that something was taken.
This is true.
Yeah,
More
then
enemies. Do
yeah.
not fear me.
and
I
then
welcome the challenge.
Mhm.
Well, I do not fear more enemies would be actually the right thing to say. I imagine more enemies still would not fear me. They will learn it. They will learn to fear me, though.
Yes, they shall learn to respect and fear our presence.
Indeed.
Well, yes. For now, nobody in the command has an idea what's the end goal, because clearly killing you is not an end goal. You are just a means to an end. You are a fuel. Those who can die and again. Um, so if in any way, shape or form you ever came across any information or clue that can offer an insight as to what is the end goal of whoever is doing this ritual, then that will be mightily appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But that's mostly pro form, like asking. You do not have to like focus entirely. This is still like a huge plot of land, and it's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Be anywhere in the grass. Mm. Well,
Of course, the same plea goes to in case you ever stumble upon something that can point towards how to disable the storm, because the mages give a brief explanation that obviously something so unnatural, because this is like a magical phenomenon, weather phenomenon, this like huge wall of storm wall, has to be powered by something. This is like impossible that
the success raises a hand. Mm.
yeah.
But if we hit it like really hard at the storm,
Yeah, some of the assemble like smirk. Some are like slightly irritated, but then like, okay, thank you, Zixos, for this brief moment of levity.
What if instead of hitting it, we crush it?
yes, you got me my back. Success looks happy. I am imagining the country react much the same way our GM reacted to this.
I'm just imagining Sixos pointing at her. That is a great idea.
It's
Good
more like,
answer.
yes, somebody actually gets me.
I will say,
Mm.
Azak will kind of have a low kind of growl that is actually more just him laughing. As he did indeed mean that to be a joke, because,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, mind you, beating the shit out of things with adamantine claws tends to solve most issues.
Well, I suppose are we wrapping up this, or is there more to be said? Mm-hmm.
Give me a moment. Cultist for the barrows. Chance of victory conditions you do know. When you mentioned that you are planning to go, unless you will say that you do not, but if you mentioned that you planning on investigating a tribe,
Yes.
not a stronghold, in the light of everything that was said and informed, Bachmir doesn't order you, because at this point, due to the distance, he knows that's just like a fool's errand.
Unless he sends us on orders us somewhere else, of course.
Not necessarily. If you believe that this is something that you should investigate, then that's fine. The only thing I wanted to ask that, and ask not order, because you didn't listen the first time, he references the Golden Salamander attack on this tribe. But if you do find that the number of enemies seems to be somewhat overwhelming, or there seems to be like a, well, if you will require more manpower, we do not know what is going on, but for what it seems like, the ritual doesn't seem to be finishing in a tomorrow or in a week. So for now, we believe that you can still take some time. So if you require reinforcements, please do. Actually, hold on. I know Ulfgar was contacting you, but do you have any means of long distance communication, or can you like think of anything?
Well,
We
we
can
could
run
buy
really
a
fast.
we could buy a scroll of sending.
You have a pigeon? Hmm.
I have a hawk.
A scroll of sending would only really work once.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it'd be more useful for them to contact us than us to contact them.
I mean, a scroll of sending could make it so they know they should contact us, at least. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so definitely, I know Ulfgar is probably gonna wish he could tear off my head for proposing this, but the place we are investigating, how soon do you think you'll be getting there? What's the timeline you are operating on?
Let's
3
see.
days?
Teleporting to the monastery, it is about 300 miles out. So saying that we move at a steady pace of 70 miles per day, so that would be around 5 days. Unless we do a forced march.
That was the plan.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're doing the first march, which means that 300. Actually, I did do some other calculations, so I'm counting that if you are hitting that question marks along the way, and then going to Rotten Cloud Tribe, I'm taking that you will be marching 310 miles. So going for 72 miles per day. Yeah, so a little over 4 days. I mean, only like travel, because who knows how long it will take you. So
we might need a long rest after we're done with the question mark place.
very well, I will inform Ulfgar, or hold on, actually we should have like other mage for that. Other mage to like send a message to you in 3 days time. 3 days time after you will move out.
Understood.
And also, so that we are clear, I, along the rest of the command squad, who wish to extend your thanks for procuring an alliance with the not insane natives of this land.
The more lucid ones.
Yes, we're also glad that they're not stone-hearted about this.
Yeah, you probably, as you were like talking, you did see a couple of these deep delver dwarves lumbering around, like mostly working in like workshops and smithies.
Mhm.
If we're going to form a colony here, it is most wise to secure alliances.
Well, it's a good thing. This time, Head Scout, the gnome assassin, speaks out. Well, it's a good thing that there's anyone left to be made alliance with. And, well, when all of this is over, I'm sure the rest of the command squad and the guild itself will be most interested in hearing about the history and lives of these folks that came here. But, and then he gives like a knowing look to Bachmir, and then Bachmir is like, you, however, will spend some time there yourself, and you have seen this place, seen how much, well, firepower, so to speak, they have. Well, first of all, do you believe that they are gonna be in danger while staying there? And if so, what type? And second, like, what's your opinion on their, situation? Can they, like, defend themselves, or do we have to expect that we will be expected to send at the very least a portion of our forces to assist them?
Well, they have this big ugly dog in the front who might be able to help them out with anything, not scary enough to be called one of the seven. I made that name. And other than that, well, they're our friends, no? We should at least send a couple of them.
Do know that the monastery do practice self-defense arts, so they should be capable fighters at least.
Mhm.
Well, I hope so. I can only imagine that self-defense classes can only do so much when you are standing against a frost giant. But very well, we have teleportation circles, so we are connected. Worst comes to worst, we'll have some time to react.
Anyway, well, I think that's about covers it, doesn't it?
I should probably meet up with Headcraft Ulfgar and give him the remains of the dragon.
Yes, if you are planning on getting anything from him, he does have assistants now, but mind you, he's working as hard as he can, but you probably should expect at the very least 2 or 3 days of rest. Those who bear the gift, we don't really get tired too often, but sometimes it's good to just wait a moment.
Rest and reflect.
Very well.
He does mention that he's going to need a better bow, and he hands him the golden components to make him a +2 shock longbow.
Yeah, to Ulgar. But yeah, before that, Bachmir is. Yeah, that about covers it. Before you leave, I should be hanging around. So if anything more comes to mind, you will know where to find me. But yeah, as for Ulfgar, it's like, "Aye, laddie, add it to the list." And then you will see, like, there's a lot of like various commissions and whatnot, but you do seem that the work is progressing steadily. The forge is vastly expanded. There are, like, at the very least several dwarves working on it. Mind you, Ulfgar is the only one that has eternal soul template, so he can go, like, day in, day out, day and night. But even then, it's like a little bit of help. So yeah, all of that. Yeah, you can rest and dilly-dally for about, I'd say, give it 3 days, lads.
3 days, understood.
The world's not gonna end before that. And then he, like, pauses with his, like, humming the slamming the hammer, like, fuck, I hope not. Anyways, back to work.
Best
Ezek
of luck.
probably just goes and does push-ups for that long.
Cherok is probably going to socialize a little bit with both Malgaris and Churuk.
All right.
Mhm.
He's socializing with himself.
Ha ha ha.
I thought you said you're socializing with Chirrut.
No. Churuk.
Chirrut.
Kruk.
Churuk.
Is there someone with the name that's similar
Crook.
to yours? What?
Crook.
Kruk. Kruk, the battle scout.
Uruk.
Yeah,
Oh.
most of your socializing is on archery. Sorry, not archery contest. Well, you and Kruk are using bows, while the last member of their party that was found recently, a gunslinger, or rather musketeer by the name of Hazel, uses, well, as the name implies, musket. And essentially you are doing the marksmanship competitions to kill time.
Doing trick shots and distance shots.
But yeah. Unless there's something more. The road away.
Unless any of you want to do anything.
I mean,
Nothing
just practice
specific.
a couple of times and wondering what the hell's gonna go happen soon.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
role playing with NPCs, socializing in my RP? Nah.
Mhm.
Nah.
I mean, there's just too many of them, really.
Yeah.
You always can pick one choice if you want. I mean, you won't know anything about them more if you don't like
Yeah.
get to know any of them, but that's your call.
Mm.
Let's see.
That's fine.
It's just
In
that
that
when there is, you look at the list, what, 20 plus characters? Where do you even start?
With one.
Yes, but then you're just picking out a random.
That's what I was basically about to do.
Mm-hmm.
20 is a vastly exaggeration. You only see handles for about 10 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, if you really don't want to, that's fine. No skin off my back.
Mm-hmm.
So, those people do exist, and they are doing their own stuff in the...
Like, I feel like the
background.
character we've had the most interaction with is Ulfgar for obvious reason. And that's
We could
because
always hang out with him.
Mm-hmm.
He'd probably yell at us for getting in the way, though.
Yeah. But that's mostly because there's been a reason to talk to him, which is awkward. And unfortunately, that reason is annoying him to craft us more shit and adding stuff to his schedule. Oh no, dude.
And the antisocial Finn is doing the most RP.
I mean,
That's it. I'm fine. We can
no, hold on.
move on.
We've RP'd with people not in the camp just fine. It's just that the people in the camp are kind of doing their own thing, like you said, and we're going off and scouting, basically.
I mean, to be fair, that's also a choice to not inquire, like, hey, what are you guys, like, doing,
I mean,
changing stories and whatnot.
I mean, we literally had a information dump on us, you know? Like, what was
Yeah.
everyone doing? What's going on? Like,
Yeah, he's probably going to
In this aspect, yes.
wish Malgarius and the rest of the Ghostbusters good luck on hallowing the Baron, or, well, Barrows.
That is most appreciated, Cheryuk, of the many buffs. Hopefully, that blasted dragon will not interfere with our glorious purpose.
Yeah, so Was Malgarius a empty suit of armor, or
Yeah, he's an animated suit of armor, so there's like nothing inside, but clearly nothing physical inside, but clearly there's like a soul still lingering.
so? Do suits of armor still feel pain?
Is that what you ask him?
I mean, if it isn't too.
Is that what you ask you? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It's complicated. The suit itself, it's not the suit that feels pain, but as I'm bonded with this piece of armor, whatever damage it takes, cracks, slashes, they reverberate within my soul. So, in a way, I am capable of feeling pain, but not in a way that you do, as you like feel through body, not through soul, mostly.
I've had soul damage before. At least I don't think. I mean, it was.
Weren't you
I
hit
mean-
by the fallen samurai soul slash?
Oh yeah.
I wasn't that mostly physical damage though.
I think my body got most of the blow.
And then he says, but that is not often that anyone asks me how I feel or if I feel anything. So you're
All
Sure.
of them tell me where is Malgarius. Nobody asks how is Malgarius.
So your curiosity is, in a way, appreciated.